Ladies and gentlemen, let's be real. Most people out there are searching for their soulmate like it's a scavenger hunt. They think if they just look hard enough, love will magically show up. But let me tell you something powerful. God doesn't introduce you to your soulmate when you want them. He introduces you when you're ready. So how does that happen? Let's break it down. Most people believe that love is just about finding the right person, but let me tell you something powerful. Love is about becoming the right person first. We live in a world where people are searching for their soulmate like it's some kind of magic trick. They're looking left and right, swiping through apps, jumping into relationships, hoping that the next person will be the one. But here's the truth. God is not going to bring you your soulmate if you're not aligned with your purpose. Think about it. Why would God connect you with someone who is supposed to complement your journey when you haven't even figured out where you're going? It's like expecting a co-pilot to jump in when you haven't even decided where your plane is headed. If you're lost, how can you expect to recognize the person meant to walk beside you? This is the mistake most people make. They think love is about emotion, when in reality, love is about mission. You see, God designed relationships with a purpose. It's not just about companionship. It's about expansion, growth, and impact. The right relationship isn't just supposed to make you happy. It's supposed to make you better. It's supposed to elevate your life, challenge your weaknesses, and unlock your highest potential. But that can only happen if you know who you are and what you're here to do. If you're disconnected from your purpose, you'll attract relationships that are disconnected from destiny. And this is why so many people end up in cycles of heartbreak. They get into relationships based on chemistry, not calling. They chase attraction instead of alignment. And when that attraction fades, so does the relationship. But when you align with your purpose, something powerful happens. You start attracting people who are also aligned. You stop chasing and you start recognizing, because when you're clear on where you're going, it's easy to see who's supposed to go there with you. And let's be real, when you're in alignment, you won't even be interested in the same people you used to be drawn to. Why? Because when you grow, your standards grow. The things that once caught your attention will no longer excite you. You'll start craving depth, wisdom, and purpose in your relationships. Here's what most people don't understand. Before God introduces you to your soulmate, He introduces you to yourself. He strips away distractions. He removes the wrong people from your life. He takes you through a season of growth, sometimes isolation, sometimes pain, not to punish you, but to prepare you. Because the level of love you're praying for requires a level of growth you haven't yet stepped into. God doesn't want to just give you a relationship. He wants to equip you for a relationship. He wants to make sure you have the emotional intelligence, the patience, the self-awareness, and the maturity to handle the kind of love you're asking for. And let me be real with you. Alignment is not always comfortable. Sometimes it requires letting go of old habits, old mindsets, and even old relationships that are holding you back. Sometimes it requires stepping into unfamiliar territory, making bold decisions, and having the courage to become the person you were created to be. But the moment you do that, you'll notice something incredible. Your life will begin to shift. Opportunities will open up. The right people will start appearing. The noise of distraction will fade and clarity will take its place. Now, some people might say, but Tony, what if I've already met my soulmate, but I wasn't aligned when I met them? Great question. The answer, you still have a choice. Alignment is a process and growth is a decision. If you're in a relationship and you realize that you and your partner are not aligned with your purpose, you don't have to panic. You have two choices. You can either grow together, or you can recognize that the relationship is not meant to continue. But what you cannot do is ignore misalignment and expect long-term success. This is why personal development is key. Relationships don't thrive because of love alone. They thrive because of growth, respect, and a shared vision. So if you're single right now, don't waste your energy worrying about where your soulmate is. Instead, use this time to build yourself. Work on your mindset. Heal from past wounds. Strengthen your faith. Discover your mission, because when you are in alignment, your soulmate will recognize you, not because you're looking, but because you become exactly who they were also praying for. At the end of the day, God is strategic. He knows what he's doing. He's not delaying your soulmate. He's developing you so that when the right person comes, you won't just have a relationship, you'll have a kingdom partnership. One that is strong, rooted, and built to last. So the question isn't, where is my soulmate? The real question is, am I becoming the person that my soulmate would also be looking for? Because when you step into alignment with your purpose, you don't chase love, you attract it. And when that happens, you'll realize that your soulmate was never far away. They were just waiting for you to step into the person you were always meant to be. Most people believe love should happen on their schedule. They think that if they're ready in their mind, then the right person should show up immediately. But life doesn't work that way. Love is not just about timing, it's about divine timing. And divine timing isn't something you control, it's something you trust. God is not going to introduce you to your soulmate when you think you're ready. He's going to introduce you when he knows you're ready. And that's a massive difference. People often get frustrated when they don't find love when they want it. They look around and see their friends in relationships. They scroll through social media and see couples getting engaged, and they start questioning, why not me? Why is it taking so long? What am I doing wrong? But what they don't realize is that love isn't just about desire. It's about preparation. You might feel ready, but are you truly prepared for the kind of relationship you're asking for? A healthy, thriving, purpose-driven relationship isn't something that just happens. It's something that requires work, growth, and spiritual maturity. God sees what you don't see. He knows what's ahead. He understands your heart better than you do. And he's not going to bring you into a relationship just because you want one. He's going to bring you into a relationship when it serves his greater plan for your life. And that means you have to trust that his timing is perfect, even when it doesn't match your expectations. There's a reason some relationships don't work out. There's a reason why certain people walk out of your life. There's a reason why things take longer than you thought they would. Because sometimes the things you're asking for would actually hurt you if they came too soon. Imagine giving a 10-year-old the keys to a sports car and expecting them to drive safely. It's not that they're incapable of driving one day. It's that they're not ready yet. They haven't developed the skills, the discipline, or the awareness to handle that responsibility. And relationships are the same way. Love is a responsibility. A soulmate is a partnership. And God isn't going to give you something you're not mature enough to handle. The truth is, divine timing is often uncomfortable. It requires patience. It requires surrender. It requires the ability to sit in uncertainty and still believe that what you desire is coming. But most people don't like that. They want control. They want guarantees. They want to force things into place. And that's why so many people settle. They settle for relationships that aren't aligned. They settle for connections that don't challenge them to grow. They settle for love that feels safe but doesn't push them toward their purpose. And then years later, they wonder why they feel unfulfilled. But when you trust divine timing, you stop forcing things. You stop chasing love and you start attracting it. Because here's what's powerful. When you're truly ready for love, the right person will show up effortlessly. Not because you manipulated the situation, but because God aligned the right moment, the right circumstances, and the right season for it to happen. And sometimes that timing isn't just about you, it's about the other person too. Maybe your soulmate is still in their growth season. Maybe they're still healing, still evolving, still stepping into their purpose. Maybe if you met them too soon, it wouldn't work. Not because you aren't meant to be together, but because the version of them you were supposed to meet doesn't exist yet. So what do you do while you wait? You prepare, you develop yourself, you work on your emotional intelligence, you grow spiritually, you strengthen your mindset, your habits, your purpose. You don't sit around complaining about being single. You use this time to become the kind of person who can sustain a powerful, purpose-driven relationship. Because prayer without preparation is wasted potential. Waiting on divine timing isn't about sitting still. It's about becoming ready. If you're in a waiting season right now, don't see it as a delay. See it as development. Every single day, you have an opportunity to become the best version of yourself. Every single day, you have a chance to get closer to your purpose. And the closer you get to your purpose, the closer you get to the person meant to walk beside you in it. One day, you'll look back and realize why it had to take the time it did. You'll see how. Everything connected. You'll understand why certain relationships didn't last, why certain doors didn't open, why certain moments of heartbreak were actually moments of protection. And when you finally meet the person God has for you, it won't feel forced. It won't feel rushed. It will feel right, not because you controlled it, but because you were ready for it. So stop worrying about the when. Stop doubting the process. Stop thinking you're behind. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. The love you're looking for is already written into your story. Trust the timing. Prepare for the blessing. And when the moment comes, you'll understand why the wait was always worth it. Most people want love, but they don't want to go through the process that prepares them for it. They pray for a soulmate, but they reject the very lessons that shape them into the person who can sustain that kind of relationship. What they don't realize is that before God blesses you, he refines you, he prepares you. And often that preparation comes in the form of challenges, heartbreaks, and setbacks that feel unfair in the moment, but are absolutely necessary for your growth. Think about it. If love were easy, everyone would have a perfect relationship. But that's not reality. Relationships require emotional intelligence, patience, resilience, and wisdom. And those qualities aren't developed in comfort. They're developed in difficulty. The pain you experience in past relationships isn't meant to destroy you. It's meant to teach you. Every heartbreak, every disappointment, every moment where you felt like love failed you was actually shaping you. It was refining your character, strengthening your discernment, and teaching you what you truly need in a partner. Most people don't see it that way. They see heartbreak as a setback instead of a setup. They take the pain personally. They assume that because something didn't work out, they must not be worthy of love. But what if that situation didn't happen to you, but happened for you? What if that rejection was actually redirection? What if God was removing the wrong people from your life so he could make room for the right one? So many people hold on to relationships that are beneath the level of love God has for them simply because they're afraid to let go. They settle because it's familiar. They stay because they don't want to start over. But every time you refuse to release what isn't serving you, you delay what is meant for you. There's a reason why certain relationships didn't last. There's a reason why the timing didn't work out. There's a reason why you had to walk through seasons of loneliness. Because before God trusts you with his best, he has to prepare you to receive it. If you can't handle being alone, how will you handle a relationship? If you can't set boundaries now, how will you protect your peace when you're with someone? If you don't know your worth yet, how will you choose a partner who truly values you? God allows challenges in love not to punish you, but to develop you. The pain isn't meant to break you, it's meant to build you. Think about a refining fire. When gold is purified, it's placed under intense heat. The fire burns away impurities, leaving only the purest form of the metal behind. That's what happens in your journey to love. The heartbreak, the disappointments, the setbacks, all of it is the fire that burns away insecurity, impatience, and fear. It removes the versions of you that were willing to settle for less. It forces you to grow into someone who doesn't just attract love, but someone who can maintain a healthy, purpose-driven relationship. Here's the reality. Most people repeat the same toxic cycles in relationships because they refuse to learn the lesson. They jump from one relationship to another, carrying the same wounds, the same insecurities, and the same patterns, expecting different results. But nothing changes until you change. If you don't pause after a breakup and ask, what was this meant to teach me? then you'll find yourself in the same situation again and again, because lessons unlearned will always be repeated. God isn't just interested in giving you a relationship. He's interested in giving you the wisdom to sustain it. Love is easy to find, but the right love, the kind that elevates you, challenges you, and aligns with your purpose, that requires growth. That requires patience. That requires a willingness to embrace the process even when it's painful. So if you've been through heartbreak, if you've experienced loss, if you've wondered why love hasn't worked out for you yet, don't see it as a failure. See it as a lesson. Ask yourself, what did this experience teach me? How did it prepare me for the kind of relationship I truly desire? Every painful chapter in your story is adding wisdom to your journey. Every time you thought love was breaking you, it was actually making you stronger. And when the right person comes, you'll realize why it had to happen exactly the way it did. Because when God blesses you with your soulmate, He doesn't want you to just experience love. He wants you to be ready for it. He wants you to walk into that relationship whole, healed, and secure in who you are. So embrace the lessons. Let go of what no longer serves you. Trust that every heartbreak was simply preparing you for the love that is meant to last. And when that love comes, you'll finally understand why the process was always part of the plan. Most people think that love is about finding someone who makes them happy, but real love, lasting, meaningful, God-ordained love, is about something much deeper than happiness. It's about purpose. It's about two people coming together, not just to feel good, but to fulfill something greater than themselves. That's why God doesn't just send you a person who makes you feel butterflies. He sends you a partner who aligns with your mission, your values, and your destiny. The problem is that too many people go into relationships based on surface level attraction. They're drawn to how someone looks, how they make them feel in the moment, or how they fit into their ideal fantasy of love. But none of that sustains a relationship. Feelings fluctuate. Attraction changes. And if the only thing holding two people together is chemistry, then that relationship is not built to last. Chemistry might bring you together, but purpose is what keeps you together. God is strategic in how He connects people. He knows that the right relationship isn't just about love, it's about impact. When He brings two people together, it's because their union has a greater assignment. Maybe it's to build a family that raises the next generation of leaders. Maybe it's to create something together that helps others. Maybe it's simply to support and challenge each other to become the best versions of themselves. But there is always a higher reason, and this is why alignment matters. If two people are walking in different directions in life, how can they build something meaningful together? If one person is focused on growth and purpose while the other is focused on comfort and convenience, eventually that relationship will hit a wall. That's why God doesn't just bring two random people together. He brings two aligned people together, people who are headed in the same direction, people who share the same core values, people who are willing to push, challenge, and support each other to become more. But here's where many people get it wrong. They force relationships that were never meant to be. They try to make something work with someone who doesn't share their vision, hoping that love alone will be enough. But love is not enough. You need alignment, because when two people are not aligned in purpose, they will eventually pull each other apart. And this is why God sometimes removes people from your life. It's not rejection, it's redirection, it's protection, because He sees what you don't see. He knows that 5 years down the line, the person you're crying over today might not have the capacity to support the person you're becoming. He knows that the love you're holding on to so tightly might be blocking the love that is truly meant for you. So instead of asking, why did this person leave? Ask, what was this person's purpose in my journey? Because sometimes people come into your life for a season, not a lifetime. And if you hold on to someone beyond their season, you'll only delay your own destiny. This is why before entering any relationship, you need to ask yourself, does this person align with my purpose? Do we share the same core values? Are we headed in the same direction? Because when you're with the right person, it's not about just existing together, it's about building something together. And that requires two people who are moving toward the same future. But the only way to attract an aligned partner is to first be aligned yourself. Too many people are searching for their soulmate without first stepping into their purpose. They want a partner to complete them instead of becoming whole on their own. But a relationship is not supposed to complete you. It's supposed to complement you. If you're lost, you will attract someone who is also lost. If you're unsure of your path, you will attract uncertainty. But when you are clear, when you are walking in purpose, when you are living in alignment, you will attract someone who is also doing the same. And this is the beauty of how God works. When the right person comes, there is no confusion. You don't have to force it. You don't have to convince them to stay. You don't have to change who you are to make it work, because when God sends your person, the relationship will feel like confirmation, not. You will recognize them because their presence in your life will feel like alignment, not distraction. So if you're wondering where your soulmate is, stop searching outward and start focusing inward. Step into your purpose. Build yourself. Live in alignment with your values and trust that when the time is right, God will introduce you to someone who is not just a partner, but a partner in purpose. Because real love is not just about romance, it's about destiny. And when two aligned people come together, their love doesn't just serve them, it serves the world.